Yeah, when I say hip hop, when I say hip, y'all say hop. Hip, hop, hip, hop. When I say open, y'all say radical. Open, radical. Open, radical. When I say TED, y'all say D. I am openly radical. I use my voice to say whatever I need to say, what I think I should say to my people, what I think I should say to my community. I use my voice to do so. I am a spoken word artist. My name is Jose Guerrero. I am a freshman here at the University of Denver. I am lucky to get the Daniels Fund Scholarship, and I hope to graduate in 2014. I've been doing poetry for about 2 years now. I started out because my school, at my school, they offered this event called Café Cultura. Bobby Lefebvre is a founder member of Café Cultura and is also a very cool poet. You guys should look him up. That is where I got my first taste of, to me, radical openness. Everyone was there. Everyone said what they wanted to say. And it was the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. People of my color, people of my age, expressing themselves freely on a microphone. That to me was one of the most, it was a painting to me. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And the idea that I could go up there and do the same thing was even more beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And so I want all you guys to keep that in mind. Go and make your voice heard. Your voice is a weapon. You can change so many things with that. You can impact so many people with just your words, with just what you say. Now with spoken word, I got to take this to a whole nother level. There is a bit about, I'm also in the slam scene and in the slam community, which is a little slightly different than just spoken word. In slam, you throw in some competitive, things. It's sort of like a sport in a way, and that kind of has limited to what you can kind of say on stage, but it also has made it to where some poems have become more about the crowd instead of just the poetry. And I feel like spoken word artists, to be at equilibrium, you must achieve both. You must be able to be a good performer, but also a very good writer. And not abuse of that, like being on stage, and not abuse of that power, which is, for scores. But with that, I got to go out to California this year and represent Denver at the Brave New Voices International Poetry Festival. And there we took 4th place in the whole. It's a competition in the nation, but it's also, there's a couple of teams that come from France, an England team, there was an Australia team, so it was pretty dope, and we took 4th, and it was we got the opportunity to be on HBO, where we were allowed to open ourselves and be radical on television, in national television, which was a really, really cool experience, something that I could definitely put on my resume. But the whole cool thing about that was that it was on national television. And once again, I go back to the thing, it started with a mic, and now I'm on TV. Now I can say everything that I want to say, not just to the people at the venue at Café Cultura or at the open mic at the Mercury Cafe. I can say it to thousands of people who are watching that television show, which, by the way, might still be on demand, so you guys might want to check it out. Anyways, it was really mind-boggling, like Will Ferrell said. To think that I could just use my words and make television, and people want to hear me? Like, what? You guys want to hear what I got to say? Be honest with me. When you guys first saw me up here, what did you guys think of me? And this is the truth, you guys had the Flowbots here last year. Stefan is one of the MCs, and he's a really good friend of mine. And he always tells me, and we teach workshops together, and we got to teach this workshop at Rachel B. Noel, a middle school here in Denver. What he told the kids, and what we both told the kids was, write your own story, because if you don't, someone else is going to write that story for you. And that story might not be the same, It might not have all those components that you want to add in there. And if you don't write your story, then someone else will. And they're not going to write it the way you want to write it. So you write your own story. You say it. Your voice is a weapon. Remember that. Now, I'm going to leave you guys with a piece. You guys want to hear a poem? Yes. Thank you guys for all the love you guys have shown me. Thanks to the event and thanks to everyone. I'll read you guys a love poem that has a lot to do with my culture and just everything. And it's called Love in Tenochtitlan. The first time I laid eyes on her, I swear that even time itself took a pause to observe her beauty. It was like I discovered an ancient ruin. I felt my heart turn of escape through my mouth, and the millions of butterflies inside my stomach assured and insisted that she was the one for me. This is how Juan Diego must have felt when he was first graced with the presence of La Virgen de Guadalupe. In her eyes I saw indigenous traces. Small and weary like those of a person who has witnessed decades of oppression. Her long hair carried the rhythm of the drum and songs that shouted for the rain. Her color was brown like she just sprinted through the mud to get to me, and her aroma, well, it reminded me of the soil after it just rained. She was an Aztec goddess. If Tonatzin had a face, I'd assure you it would be exactly like hers. She was so grateful. With a number of beauty marks on her face that reminded me of glowing stars, I would get lost in her galaxies, and not even Mayan astronomers could have predicted someone so beautiful. She was a thriving civilization, and every word she spoke to me was engraved into the back of my brain like codes on the sides of pyramids. I was the only one that could read them. I studied her prophecies like a religion and sacrificed my soul to the goddess of love so I could be with her forever. And now I know what Cortés feels like. Because all I want to do is slash my sword into your surface and claim you mine forever, but I would be doing you an injustice. For I am just an average man, and you deserve to be lying in the arms of gods. So I have no other option but to let you go. Let your hands slip away from mine like running water from a river. I wish I could drink you. Refresh my throat with the taste of your lips and create sounds of thunder with the sounds of our kissing. I want to feel that wet soil one more time, but the only rain I felt has dripped from my own eyes and has caused more floods than the showers of Tlaloc himself. But Cruz, believe me, I'm sorry. But I would drown you 7 more times if I could just look into her eyes once more. Her eyelashes flap like the wings of an eagle. To me, she was significant like that red, white, and green flag. How I wish I could have been that serpent in your beak and felt your warm fumes like those of El Popocatépetl. You melted me into the shape of your heart and threw me into Lake Texcoco. I wish I would have floated like a chinampa, but instead I sank to the bottom, and I'm just waiting for someone to find me. I wait for her arrival like the Mexica for Quetzalcoatl, but like Quetzalcoatl, she never came back. But I still see her in the night sometimes. The twinkle in the stars remind me of when she used to look at me and smile. I wish I would have held on tighter and valued every second I was with her, but she left quicker than the jaguar, and all I have left are these ruins that remind me of what we used to be. I'm a man with a fallen empire. The only one that wishes 2012 brings destruction. Thank you so much. Your voice is a weapon. Remember that. Tell your own story. Thank you, guys.